Matthew chapter 7 is where we are going to go. I'm going to read a couple verses. And then we will go from there. It is my desire not to be before you long. I certainly thank and praise the Lord for our ushers on today, our musicians, our pulpit. Amen. Praise God for all of you that are in the house today. Matthew chapter 7, verse 24. I'm going to read from New King James Version, so it is minus the these and the thous. It is so good to see Janet in the house today. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. God is a great God. He's beyond good. He's great.
Yes, he is.
I say he's beyond good. He's great.
Yes,
Amen.
He is a great God. And the reading says, verse 24, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the
Rock.
okay, a wise man who built his house on the
Rock.
And when the rain descended, the floods came, the winds blew, and beat on that house. It did not fall, for it was founded on the
Rock.
But everyone who hears these sayings of mine, Jesus says, and does not do them, will be like a foolish man. There we go. We're trying to see who all woke in the house. I'll read that again. And everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a
Foolish man.
who built his house on the
Rock.
and the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it
Fell.
and great was its
Fall.
grab someone by the hand and for a thought. Tell them how you feel
How you feel.
determines how you're built.
How you feel.
Look at someone else
That's real.
and say how you feel
How you feel.
determines how you're built.
Built.
Now point to yourself and say how I feel
How I feel.
determines how I'm built.
Built.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
How I feel
Yes.
determines how I'm built. I believe this message should be personalized. Although we used it corporately and spoke to our neighbor, and as you all know, it'll be just the first time that you spoke to him or her before this day is over with, or before this service is over with. Amen. But I believe that we have to start looking, if we're not, we have to start looking at our own personal walk. We all can dress up and we know what to put on and the jargon to use and what to say to make someone think that we got it all together. How many of us know about that? But deep down inside, we know that some of us, we've got some things going on. Someone say amen.
Amen.
We've got a few things, and if you don't, how about you take a few of mine? Amen. And I can just give you a few of my stuff that's going on. And if your shoulders are broad enough, amen. If you can carry it, amen. But how you build is what we're talking about, determines how we can say a lot of things about where they are, but it's always important for us never to lie to ourselves. Someone say amen.
Amen.
We shouldn't lie to other people, but let's face it, we have. And, if you ever told a little white lie, purple, pink, or green, just raise your hand. But the fact of the matter is, when we begin to lie to ourselves, we've got some issues going on. Someone say amen.
Amen.
Now, this story happens to be the one about substance versus sand. I like that. Substance versus sand. Some people choose to build their walk on substance. Amen. Something that is able to handle the weight of what we're going through. Someone chooses to look unto God, who is the author and finisher of our faith. Amen, someone. While others, and we all have been there, have chose rather at one time or another, Sister Mickey, we've chosen rather to try to work it out our own self. Have we been there? Y'all a little quiet, but it's okay. Try to work things out our own self. Try to make it fit, Deacon Taylor. Have you ever tried to make a round ball fit in a square hole? It's impossible. I'm reminded as I say fit, I believe it was in the early 90s for some of you that were around. There was a huge trial that came up, and his name was O.J. Simpson. And one of the things that they put out here, if the glove don't fit, then you must acquit. Yeah, a few of y'all know about that, don't you? But there comes a time in our walk that if things are not fitting, amen, then we have to look inward. Someone say amen. We have to look at ourselves. You can't, and I know that you've been hearing off and on from the pulpit, you have to stop trying to get someone else straight when we got some stuff that we need to straighten out. Someone say amen.
Amen.
I know it's not all of us, but it is a few of us. And when I say a few of us, I'm not just talking about Greater Apostolic. It's also in other churches, within other congregations.
Yes.
Someone say amen.
Amen.
Everything that glitters is what? It is not gold. Someone say amen.
Amen.
But we can often come in and try to make things be as though they're really not. I believe Deacon Taylor said it, and he coined it so well in one of those 50 million poems that he reads, is that there sometimes we perpetrate. Someone say amen.
Amen.
Sometimes we do, and we have become accustomed, and sometimes people become used to, because that's been their life. Someone say amen.
Amen.
That's been stuff that they had to come through. Everybody of us. We didn't come through no great family. Someone say amen.
Amen.
Every single one of us wasn't there with two parents. Some of us had one parent. Some of us, even the one parent that was there was no parent. Someone say amen.
Amen.
So we all have not walked down the street of gold. Some of us have come from all different types of avenues and boulevards, and not all of us haven't been on drugs. There's been a few of us that have been. Someone say amen.
Amen.
Not all of us have not tasted alcohol. There's been a few of us that have, and we've drunk it pretty well. Someone say amen. Not all of us are going to stand and say that we having lied, stole, cheat, committed adultery, fornication. Come on, someone. I should be coming down someone's aisle real soon right now. Not all of us haven't been happy for everyone. There's been a few of us that's been haters. Someone say amen. We can smile in your face, but behind your back, sometimes there's backstabbers. Someone say amen. Someone say yes, Lord. Help me, Lord. Come on, someone say help me, Lord. So we find ourselves right here, and although I was born for something else, God allowed me to pen right here and index right here, right where we are. And I say we, and that's as of this 21st century. We're here. Yes, we're here. We can find ourselves in this text. And all of us that are here, and all of us that are watching or will watch, we are one or the other. Someone say amen. There's nowhere in between. You know, a lot of times folks want to find themselves between black and white. But there are no shades of gray when it comes to walking with God. Someone say amen. We don't mind busting your bubble or scrambling your eggs. There is no shades of gray. Either you're going to do what God says or you not. Someone say amen. But the Word of God is speaking to us in this hour, this late hour in which we live in. And I do say late, because even as we've been talking about where we are, I turn on my radio or I turn on my TV and I listen to a lot of Christian radio. And the majority of those, not all, but the majority of those are talking about the lateness of the hour. The majority of the preachers and the teachers and the evangelists and the apostles and the prophets and the pastors who stand in the office, if their ear is toward heaven, they're not trying to have a bake sale, and they're not trying to do things that just don't matter, but they are beginning to speak to the congregants. They're beginning to speak to God's people about the lateness of the hour. And we have a choice, even as here at Greater Apostolic, as there is throughout this city and throughout this community and throughout this world, to make our choice and to make our election sure. Someone say amen. They're talking about the end times, and they're talking about the hour in which we live in, when people, and I said it last week and it was said the week before, that people are calling right wrong and wrong right. People rather prefer the wide versus the narrow. Folks got their minds all upside down. Someone say amen. They're thinking about things that really don't matter. And instead of finding themselves thinking about where they are, you ought to look at somebody and say, where are you? Look at somebody and say, where are you? And this is where we find ourselves in society right now. And as a subject, again, I don't want you to get it out of your head, but it's how you build determines how you are built. Someone say amen. What we believe in and who we believe in determines how strong we are. There's a few of us that all it takes is a light bill for us to get all out of whack. Someone say say amen. There's a couple of us that all it takes is for a bad marriage or your boyfriend or someone else to mess up your head. Someone say amen. There's a couple of us, and if it ain't you, you ought to say, Lord, I thank you. That one's not me, but I've got something that will cause me, that will allow me to mess myself up. Someone say amen. But how you build determines how you are built, in particular in this last and evil day. Here we are today, and we have two men. And as I wrote myself some notes, Brother Brian, I said two men with the same situation. The situation that you find in our text is not two separate situations, but the issues that are coming up against both of these fellas, if I can call them fellas if you will, is the same situation, but it's two different endings. Someone say amen. So that tells me that all of us have the same situation. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it's talkie time now. Someone say amen. Yeah, look at them and say, so what you got going on is no deeper than what I got going on. But it's how I build. It will determine on whether or not I last. Someone say amen. Everybody ain't looking for Jesus. But what about you? Someone say, what about you? Everybody don't want Jesus, and they don't want his laws, and they don't want his commandments, they don't want his requirements, they don't want his prerequisites. Everybody that don't want his resume and don't want his pedigree, someone say amen. Everybody don't want to be saved. You ought to look at somebody and say, what about you? Do you want to be saved? Or do you want not to be? Someone say amen. Because there's always someone who's not ready to pray and not willing to fast and not willing to walk the straight and narrow. But as for me and my house, I heard one writer say, we're going to stand for the Lord. Someone say amen. Someone say amen. Everyone is not going to choose the right ending. A few of us want to choose our own ending, only to discover and to find out that ending wasn't right either. Someone say amen. There's a few of us that want to do our own thing. Someone say, yeah, Lord. Someone say, help me, Jesus. But there's a few of us that purposely, intentionally, deliberately choose not the rock. But I want to talk to those who want to choose the rock. Someone say, it's me, Lord. I want the R-O-C-K, because if I choose the S-A-N-D, I'm going to sink for sure. Someone say amen. Someone say amen. What kind of church is this? Someone say, if you look tired, I dare you to stand. If you're a little weak, I dare you to say, help me, Lord. Someone say, yeah. Everyone is not going to choose the rock. But if it's you today, I want you to stand up and sit on back down and say, I choose the rock. Not the rock cocaine either. I choose the rock, not the either. I choose the rock and not fear either. Someone say, rock me gently. Someone say, what I find out in this here story, is there any preachers with me? What I find out in this here story, say, help us, Lord. What I find out is that there's two men with one situation, but two different endings. So I see 2, 2, 1, 5. I see there's some grace that God's going to give us up in here right now. Someone say it. But if you too sleepy, too tired, too blind, too indignant, too indifferent, too slow, someone say slow, to someone that ain't willing to go fast, this story ain't for you. I want to talk to the rock slayers, the rock standers, the ones that know had it not been for God on my side, I still wouldn't even be here with all my mess. You ought to look at somebody and get ready to open your mouth and say, no, I ain't gonna tell you what I've been through, because I don't even want to bust your bubble or break your ball. Someone say amen. Say amen. Look at yourself and say, how I build will determine how I build. I gotta build on the rock, the rock that stands through all types of weather, the rock that provides. I heard someone say, he's my Jehovah Jireh. He's my provider. I said we've got to personalize this thing right now. If you know him to be your provider, wave your hand and say, God, I thank you. I thank you for being my provider. What I find out in this hymn story, can I get a little country on you right now? What I find out in this hymn story, sometimes I do a little ebonics, or sometimes it don't have to be cut and dry. Every now and then when I look back over my life, I just know had it not been for God, I just want to give him praise and glory. You might can be there and sit there and think that God ain't done nothing for you, but I just need the pulpit to stand up and sit on back down right now. He said, what I find out in this story, this same trouble happened to both of the fellas. It wasn't that the trouble didn't happen to the man that built it on the rock, but he chose the right thing. Someone say, choose the right thing. I know the wrong thing is all around you, and it's easy to choose the wrong thing, but God wants you to choose the right thing, even though you're going through something. Is there somebody in this place today that's going through something? I dare you to wave your hand and say, I'm going through something that you may not even understand, but I want it to be a witness. You better choose the right thing. Someone say, choose the right thing. It was these two fellas that what makes one come off. He said, why do I choose the right thing? And there's another one that choose the wrong. Someone says because of how you build will determine whether or not you come off them drugs or stay on them. Someone say amen. It's how you build. You got a lot of folks that want to make it seem like you ain't got delivered. The thing. You chose to come off the rock and go on to the sand. Someone say, choose ye this day whom you're gonna serve. You got a lot of folks making a lot of excuses, talking about I tried it, but it didn't work. You didn't try the right thing. You didn't try the rock. Because if you would have tried the rock, you would still be standing on the rock. I know a lot of folks don't like to hear this because they want to be pacified in their emotions. Someone say amen. They want excuses for where they've been and what they got to face. But if you faced it and you came off of it, I dare you to stand up and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Put your hands together and give him glory. I can give him. He went on to say, daughter, I just got a few more minutes. He went on to say, daughter, why does one come off of drugs and another stay on? Why does one believe my word and another refutes it? Someone say amen. Someone say amen. He said, because the one that believes me, they were built on a solid rock. The one that believes me, they begin to build their house on the rock and they left the sand behind. You ought to say, come off the beach, baby. It's time to get on the rock. Someone say, he said, what makes one sober and the other stay intoxicated? Why can you come off of alcohol and I can't? Why can you believe God for the fullness? I said for the fullness of his word, and everyone else tries to put holes in his word. Someone say amen. What makes you stand, Sister Tara, through all kind of weather, and someone else goes and buries their head in the sand? Oh, I forgot they're on the sand. Someone say yes. Say yes. What makes you believe that he is? He's a God for yesterday, today, and forevermore. And someone else goes and they call his name Baal and they try to find other gods. Someone say, why is he a mind regulator for you? But you allow the enemy to get your mind. Someone say yeah. What makes one come back and say thank you for my healing, and the other 9, they go forward and they don't come back and say thank you? Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, it's all how you build that's gonna determine how you build. You can have a man, thank you, Holy Ghost, that's 6'4", 6'6", 5'9", 5'8", and they can have their physique and they looking good. Someone say looking good. They dress right. They cut right. Someone say, but if they ain't built on the rock, they're gonna fall. Someone say fall. Someone say fall. Look Tuesday and every second Monday. You in the corner crying. don't cry. Not to say that trouble don't find them, but they learn how to walk. Somebody say walk. Walk. You gotta learn how to walk when they like you. You gotta learn how to walk when they don't like you. Here's one, you gotta learn how to walk when you don't like you. Someone say amen. Someone say amen. You gotta learn how to walk when you're depressed. Someone say yes. There's been times when the cares of this world has gotten me down. I'm almost finished, associate.